Austin. And in September, Claire and I, my colleague over here, we are going to be tabling at Babes Fest on Sunday, September 8th. And I'm going to be selling, obviously you can buy these here, but like hang out with us too. You can buy, obviously, the Ice Cream Social Anthology, as well as Autobiography of a Semi-Romantic Anarchist by Monica de los Ortiz. And, sorry. Monica was a featured reader here a few times over the years. But we're going to be selling some really cool stuff. Obviously, we're going to be selling Depths of the Bullshit, Artists of South Texas, which Host put out last year. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be crazy, and Claire and I would love to see you. And I believe in the evening, at the after party, Chandra will be tabling with us as well. So it's just going to be really fun, chill. So come on out, hang out with us, throw us some money. But yeah, so yeah, if you missed us in 2 weeks, come out and see us.
Don't throw coins though. That would hurt.
Yeah.
$5 paper airplanes.
Yeah. Paper. Or like the best is like digital cash.
Doesn't hurt at all. Throw any some Venmo.
Yeah.
Also, don't throw your phone.
Oh, okay. This can go south very quickly.
Don't throw things. Good rule.
And so,
yeah, go ahead.
these are on the Cool Pics table back there. We also have gems that the staff and that we highly suggest, books by featured readers in the past, and books by people that we love. Segue.
Thanks for that. Part of the Ice Cream Social family, not like literally, but also literally, my grandma is a really awesome poet.
Oh.
And her book is on the table, and she's officially cancer-free as of
Yay.
last year. She's this cute, lovely lady here. You can also find her in pictures of Cincinnati's Pride Fest. She's like the oldest gay person I know. It's great.
So feel free to browse. We try to be mindful too. We all know that we all have like a negative $1 million in our bank accounts. So we try to make sure that most of these are budget friendly. So feel free to browse the books on the table over there. Or if you need recommendations, the staff here is really rad and can help you find something that you like at the price point that you need. Are we ready to introduce our featured readers?
Yeah. So we're super excited for our first featured reader. You might recognize them because they have done screen printing at our birthday parties with Nat Brad. And they are now a poet. Well, they're probably all or a writer. You were always a writer, but now you're owning it. Zcam is a local painter here in Austin. You can follow them on Instagram at zcam_art or check out their art at www.zcam.com. Their favorite flavor of ice cream is strawberry. Solid.
Hello everyone. I have a zine that I made in June with my collaborative partner, Nat Brad. We're actually a collective called Big Chicken and Baby Bird, which is a play on Big Daddy and Little Girl. And I'm going to read the poems in the zine that we made. And also I have brought full color prints of the work inside the zine. So if you're interested later on, you can come and check them out. Okay, so here we go. We co-wrote these poems, and some of them, we each wrote one, and then the other two in the middle, we co-wrote them. Today and the next day, we eat ourselves, birthing fire to answer, do you have a light? With cold limbs that are not your own, we straighten your skin. We sculpt what we reach, but we can never reach what's on your back. The void within this wrinkled vessel never yields, because there is nothing to give up. What has always been there are not truths. There is no space and nothingness for truths. We're just a taxidermist with no purpose, with no pot for your plant. Your carpenter mother who gave you your horn did not speak, but she asked her friend to gift you the best flowers from their arsenal. You have no vocal cord to speak in riddles, no hands to unwrinkle the riddle draped about your neck. Belly full, swollen and bruised, shamelessly ejects plastic beacon, unretractable cloth. If my body must be the image of your horror goddess, it will be desecrated and one of heterogender blasphemy. I'll still have the need to nurture. When you thirst, you may suck the nectar from my sweet macaroni dick. When you starve, you may slice meat off of my hardened jerky breast and make salami. The beast will stretch its whole wide, stuff itself full. When all has been consumed, we will slaughter the beast and smoke it over this green, glowing amber. We will wrap the meats with the leaves of this prayerless plant, purifying the chunks with its asexual essence. Before you go, drape the beast hide over my body. In the temple of heterogender blasphemy, we do not snack, we feast. Feast on me through the headless beast. So that's it for the zine. And then I have another poem and a short story. The poem is about my feelings about the current events in Hong Kong. I'm from Hong Kong. I was a misshapen blob in Francis Bacon's bathroom once. There is no logic in sensation, so I abandoned it for the absurdity of love. I thought maybe there is salvation in the velvety void I was covered in. So I went through the arched doorway and found nothing but a classic garden full of stories. I'm not your magical girl, but I found him in a cave, listening to an epic love story told by a tank in poetry. There was a time when I had heard of the tank, but didn't know about the poetry. You don't have salvation just because you don't complain. But here I am now, realizing I'm the legacy of people who have always ran away from the tank. It's not that there isn't enough velvet to go around. After all, we make so much of it for so cheap, and I was supposed to grow up to wear the white kid gloves, to be the middleman in the velvet trade. But even now, the middleman is angry, because we realize they want to wrap our bodies in velvet and send it up there. I don't know if there is salvation in love like the magical girl promised. I guess we'll find out in the end. But they keep coming up with sequels, and they keep making more and more velvet. Now I remember the plastic garden full of stories, of the infinite endings there are. Maybe the endings are not important, and it doesn't matter if we're going to be saved by love in the end. I don't think the tank saved anyone else with his love story told in poetry, only himself when he started telling it. You once traveled down a long green tunnel through black waters. At the end of the tunnel, you saw colorful rocks smashing into each other to make a rainbow, leaving big clouds of black smoke behind. You then realized, this must be your version of Candyland. There were no popsicles or candy canes sprouting from fluffy cotton candy clouds, but there were chunks of cherry red rocks floating in black sewage water like clumps of oversized menstrual tissues. This is the communal bathhouse of untranslatable emotions. If this was a spa instead of an underground storm drain, it would have walls laid with unsettling purple tiles, with a strip of checkered pattern in the middle, and velvet hanging at every entrance to the next mysterious happy ending. When you're finally laying down on a plush fainting couch, the tooth fairy, hanging from the ceiling, will descend upon you to collect your shedded body parts. When you wake up, you'll find a small cake has been served as your reward. You cut through the light fountain to have bruised chocolate oozing out like magma, and you notice the carpet is the same color as the chocolate. Later on that night, you met up with your friends for dinner. After you had placed your order, you felt something in your pocket. It was a small box. You shook it, and it made a noise like there was something inside. You tried opening it, but it doesn't seem to have a lid. Your friends took turns to inspect it, but neither one could open it. I bet there is a golden pipe inside, one of them said. No, I bet it is a piece of candy in the shape of a cone with a bite taken out of it, the other one said. That is very specific, you replied. When you returned home, you found your pet sitting in the window, watching what was outside and ignoring you. You went into your bathroom and drew a bath. The water was clear, so you prepared a bubble bath. You left the box on the counter by the sink before you stepped into the bath water. An idea suddenly hit you. Maybe you could drop the box inside a bath and it will fizzle out to reveal what was inside, like one of those bath bomb things. You threw the box into the water, it made a splash, then resurfaced, and nothing happened. You went into the tub to join the box, as if it was a rubber duck. After your nightly routine, you went to bed, still wondering what's inside the box, which is now sitting on your nightstand. As your head lay on the pillow, you fantasize about smashing the box open with a hammer, or sawing it in half with a circular saw. It was too cruel, you thought, and you weren't going to treat the box this way. Before you fell asleep, you decided you were going to take the box back to the underground spa the next day and ask them if they knew anything about what's inside of it. When you got out of bed the next morning, you actually wanted to be up, and breakfast actually tasted good. You were excited about the possibility of being able to find out what's inside the box. I don't know what's in it. It's not mine, the person sitting at the reception desk of the spa answered. You have a box too? You asked. I do, but I don't have mine yet, they answered as they clicked something with their mouse. So you guys hand these boxes out to your customers? You have a lot of questions. Are you going to drop off the box or not? They finally looked up at you. I didn't know I'm supposed to give it back, you stated. And you did not want to give it back. You felt a strange possession towards the box. You still didn't know what's inside of it, and you needed to know. You brought it back, so you must not want it. That's not true. I do want it. It is mine. I just want to find out what's inside of it, you said almost childishly. How do you know it's yours? Do you even remember acquiring it? I don't, you said quietly. But I know it's mine, and you wouldn't understand because you said you don't have one, you added. No need to be accusatory. You may keep the box. Just don't bring it back here ever again. You walked out the door and left through the tunnel, disappointed you were not able to find answers to your questions. You looked for the box in your pocket, hoping that fidgeting it will make you feel better. But the box wasn't there. You rushed back into the spa. The same receptionist was sitting there. Back so soon? Have you seen my box? I must have left it on the counter accidentally when I was talking with you. Oh yes, I threw it in with the other boxes, they said, as they lifted a big bucket containing all the boxes from under the desk, each identical to the other. Which one is mine? You asked, suddenly very afraid you had lost it. I don't know. They're all the same, the person shrugged. Just take one and figure it out.